Hey everyone, in this video we're going to show you our go-to drill for stopping your slide in the golf swing.
Mike Renato here with Sean Webb, Athletic Motion Golf, and we're going to talk about the drill that we like to use, and it comes on the coattails of the How to Stop Sliding video, and it's the drill that we really prescribe to really every level of golfer. And Sean, you just did this. You were working on your own swing. Take everybody through what you're doing here.
Okay, so I'll kind of start from the reason why I had to start doing this drill in the first place. You know, when I was working on my game a lot years ago, I was taught to get all my weight and pressure to my right foot at the top of the backswing, so more like this. And what I've learned just over the years from being around Mike and also having a swing catalyst is that the pressure needs to shift left a lot before most people think it does. So with the drill, I'm actually trying to make my step early in the backswing. And you can kind of see when the left arm is parallel to the ground on the backswing, my foot is already starting to make a shuffle. And I've changed the way I've done the drill over the years. Now it's more of a smaller shuffle instead of a big step. And I feel like I fall on the left foot as opposed to pushing off the right foot. And that's a big difference. Mike, you want to talk about that for a minute?
That's a huge distinction because you can probably Google or YouTube search step drill and you're going to find a lot of variations. And we've tried them all. The one that we get the best results with because it most produces the forces and the timing that we're after in the golf swing is exactly what you see Sean doing here. We describe it as kind of a 1 or 2 inch little shuffle step forward. It's not like a big home run type, kick the leg to the left, a big stride to the right. Those aren't very golf-like as far as the timing of what we're trying to produce. What you see Sean doing is really what we're after. And Sean, why don't we take him through just how to do this drill? I think we just keep it basic and just talk about the setup that you're preparing to do.
Okay. So the feet are a little bit closer together than normal. You wouldn't take your normal shoulder width stance to start with because you're making the shuffle to almost end up in your normal stance width. So I've gone a little bit narrower than normal, and I may have made a little bigger step than I wanted, but the idea is to put your foot down into a normal stance width after you make your step.
Right.
You also are going to want to put the ball a little more forward than normal because you're stepping into a normal ball position. So those are the two kind of setup keys, I guess, that I would prescribe to start the drill.
Yeah, I think one of the ways to it's a real simple drill, but one of the ways to kind of set up poorly to this drill is to keep the ball middle of stance or where you normally go. Because once you make this little step, now the ball's too far back and you're going to start to have to tilt and all that to kind of make contact. So I think ball position is critical for this drill.
Yeah, you want to be feeling like you can move into the shot instead of with the ball back, you almost having to step and then hang back. So
which is exactly what you want in the normal swing, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
So the timing of the step is one of the things that I'm really big onto, and I like it to start. And again, I'll kind of speak for Sean a little bit. I know you've seen this done a lot. Was the idea as soon as the club moves, you're kind of really starting to step?
Yeah, and when you first showed me this, and when we first started working, Mike's helped me with a lot of my own swing. When he first started showing it to me, I had a hard time with it because it almost feels too early if you haven't done it before. It kind of feels like you're rubbing your belly and patting your head a little bit at first because it feels so early to start doing it correctly. But once you do it a few times, it'll start to feel more natural.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point because the golf swing is a series of two opposing movements, essentially. And I think a lot of us, in order to simplify the golf swing, we kind of do, there's backswing. Everything goes in the backswing. And then there's a downswing and everything goes in the downswing. But it's really, those two things are really opposed. The body is starting the downswing way before the club changes. And this almost forces you into doing that, right?
If you haven't done it before, it feels a little bit awkward at first. Because I know I was in the mindset to load up on the right side and really get over to the right side of the top of the swing. And this is, you know, by the time your club gets halfway back, you're already in your mind and you with your foot landing, you're already getting into your left side. So the timing at first feels a little bit different.
So
Practice this.
Exactly right. So if we're grading or giving you a to-do list, I should say, the first thing is set up just a fractionally narrow stance, ball more forward than normal. You got yours right inside your left heel.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as far as the takeaway goes, the really only thing you can do to mess this drill up is to step late. And let me put another line on the screen for you, and to really kind of balance yourself over here on this right foot to pick the step, to pick that left foot up.
Yeah, you want to be. Mike always talks about if I were to do it right, if you picked your left foot up and kept it up, you should fall.
You should fall. That's right.
Now, that's opposed to being able to balance over here, which we're not wanting you to do.
Exactly right. So we would not want to see that body lined up on this left line, this left pink line. We want to see the body inside of that left pink line like you are here, falling.
That's a downhill move.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to pick your left foot up and hold your balance whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so let's get rid of that line and let's keep going.
Okay, so my foot's down. I'm already feeling, before the club changes direction, I'm already feeling this kind of leftward downhill feeling with my body. And I'm really not trying to stay behind the ball, although I'm not going to get way ahead of this line that Mike drew.
Right.
I'm allowing myself to shift forward.
Right here.
Yeah, in this early downswing phase. I'm trying to be done with my shift by about left arm parallel on the downswing. What would you say about that?
100%. So and we'll put the links, if you haven't already seen them, to how to stop sliding videos. There's part 1 and part 2 that we're doing this drill for. But in those videos, we talk about how our pro golfer is really still rotating and finishing his backswing as his mass is shifting forward. And that's what you see. This drill, more than anything else we found, forces you to do that.
Absolutely.
Because you're falling forward. And if you push off, you'll undo that. So this is a fall forward. You can see it beautifully right here. He's shifting and his back is still turning.
This drill really helps you feel some of that at the top of the swing.
And this frame is also why, what we'll get to in a second, of why so many golfers who do this, especially for the first time, hit the ball so much farther than they normally do because of these frames right here.
Yeah, it gets things kind of cascading correctly on the downswing when you get that foot on the ground early.
Yeah. So we take it forward and then we start the downswing.
Yeah. And
then you're basically done.
Yeah, that's my feeling with with the shift part of it. And just as an aside note, you see the pressure up here on the right top of the screen. When I first got my 3D motion plate, Mike came over to my golf academy, spent a couple of days with me, and at this point in a swing, left arm parallel, I was actually 50-50 with my pressure.
And I think an impact, you got around the high 90s, 96, 97.
Huge shift left late in the downswing. That this a lot to go into in this video, but there's some advantages to getting the pressure early into the left foot in this left arm parallel position, and I just wasn't able to even do it. And the reason I wouldn't be able to do it because of the poor timing at the top of the backswing. I was waiting too long.
Right.
So now with this video, this is an exaggerated drill to get me to feel something, but I'm at 90% pressure left arm parallel.
Right.
And to talk about the advantages you get with that, my normal 6-iron is 94 This 6-iron is 103.5 miles an hour.
Now, yeah, I was going to say, we're talking about miles an hour, not pressure distance. So let's just scroll
Yeah.
forward here and get to the punchline of all of this.
Yeah, so this screen here is not going to show the 0.5, but this is actually 103.5 on the TrackMan numbers. So, that's almost a 10-mile-an-hour increase off my normal move.
Right.
And obviously, it's not a playable golf swing really for me, but it's getting me to feel something that I can transfer into my normal swing, an exaggerated feel that I can take with me when I go play golf.
That's exactly right. And what it's really forced you to do, and what we found that it does for golfers. So you said a couple things that are really important to emphasize. This is an exaggeration. So your normal pressure trace is not this big.
No.
One, because when one foot leaves the ground, that shifts pressure 100% to the other side.
Right.
So it's exaggerated, but what it's doing is it's forcing you into the timing that you would make if you were trying to helicopter this club down the fairway. You would make this exact same move. If you were trying to throw a spear, if you were trying to throw a ball, all of those things that we've done for thousands and thousands of years as human beings, all happens when you move this way. And it really forces you, maybe too strong of a word, but it really kind of puts you into this dynamic movement that you see all the best golfers in the world do. Nobody's hanging back on their rear foot, trying to rotate and then make this last lunge forward. We see that with all of our amateur golfers. It's a late shift. The best players in the world don't shift late.
It's just not reality.
Yeah. So this really kind of forces you into that. And the benefit of all that, the benefit of this move up here is it so positions your body to really unleash that rotation over a stable lower body. And that's where we see the club face. That's where we see the speed really jump up and the club face stabilize. And if we look at these forces.
Yeah, look what it did to the grass. You can't cheat the grass.
So for everyone who's not used to seeing this dark black bar on all these graphs, that's the PGA Tour range for a driver. Sean's hitting a 6-iron. Look at his vertical force graph here. It's well above it. His horizontal force is the top end of it. And his torque, his ability to twist the ground, is at the very top end of it. All these things happen when you start timing this stuff well. And this is the best drill we found. It's our go-to drill for getting you to feel what that pro was doing in that sliding video and what you see Sean doing right here. And his real swing isn't going to look like this. It's not going to be this big, but we're after the timing aspect of it. It really kind of reboots your timing at the golf swing.
Yeah, it helps me a lot. My club head speed, I always jump a couple miles an hour when I go back to my normal swing. Mm-hmm. And I've benefited a lot from just adding some of this stuff into my swing. I think you guys will too.
Okay, guys, go ahead and give that drill a try and let us know how it goes. If you haven't seen them already, the first 2 videos will be right here beside me. Also, if you haven't, click on the big button below, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.